All right. Welcome everybody to the last race of the season for the Division 1 group of the Zoom Racing League. It's Hunte, it's PBJ.
Hello, hello.
This week's Baku. It's been a rodeo so far with the other two races. We're going to see how Division 1 turns out. Hopefully it'll be a lot cleaner than what's been going down, but anything can happen here. PBJ, why don't you tell us about the track a little bit?
Baku and Azerbaijan. If I said it right, but yeah, it's the 6 kilometers around, 3.7 miles for the American viewers, and 20 turns, including the longest straightaway on the calendar for the entire season. Cars can get up some of the fastest speeds on the calendar as well. Held the first race back in 2017. It seems like longer than that for me. It seems like it's been here for a while, but really it's only been there about 5 years, and I think they skipped a year for COVID too. So anyway, it's got some good memories, good battles, lots of memorable moments, and we've seen a bunch of memorable moments already this weekend for the D3 and the D2 race.
Absolutely, this one's going to be pretty exciting. All the championships are already locked up. Peter Giordano, your Division 1 Drivers Champion, and followed that one up with Aston Martin being your Constructor Champion, so that's Peter and Bronson.
We still got a good race, though, in the Constructors' Championship for second place. I mean, AlphaTauri's got 139 points. McLaren is tied with them with another 139 points. Alpine is just 9 points behind, so all three of those teams are strong contenders for second place right now. Yeah. So we keep an eye on AlphaTauri, McLaren, and Alpine in this race.
And we got Victor Diaz back for this race, so it's looking really good for the AlphaTauri team to come up second for the Constructors there, as Ian goes on the runoff. Oh, I'm not quite sure what happened there. And he's pulling Ragunathan, trying to get out.
Seen that in Austin Powers movie one time, right? No, but the he just won the D2 race, so he is hot and ready at this point to come out and do another flyer. We know he's super quick. He's obviously going to be a D1 driver next month. Or next season. So
we got a little bit of a preview for Ian's performance in the D1 here. He's real warmed up, nice and ready to go. Let's see who else is out in the lap here. We got Peter. Looks like he's going to start his lap soon.
Like our first lap's going to be Bronson Stafford in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, hopping on board with Bronson
number
here.
18, 19 here. Dante, why don't you take us for a lap around Baku with Bronson?
All right, so Bronson Stafford here, coming up onto the straight, the longest straight, trying to gain as much speed as you can. You're going to hit about 199, 200-ish as you come around turn 1. It's a real fast turn. Touch that curb on the right. You don't want to mount it, though. You're going to lose a lot of speed doing that. As he cuts it in super close, hits the curb going into turn 2. Not exactly what you want to do, but he didn't seem to lose too much time on that. Another long straight on the back as they go parallel to each other. And Bronson Stafford taking turn 3 just about perfect into the quick turn 4. Mounts that curb a little bit again. You're going to lose about a tenth just touching that curb, so not looking like the best lap for Bronson, but definitely still on for a decent finish here. As he comes up heading into the castle section here, mounts that curb. You definitely want to do that. Got to be careful though, you can invalidate there. As he flies and hits the wall in castle. Manages to save the car. No significant damage it doesn't look like, but he is going to have to come around for another lap. As Moto Lee and Jack Pemberton come together. I am not too sure what happened there with Moto Lee and Jack Pemberton, but Jack Pemberton went airborne for a second. And I currently have him spinning on the third sector here, or the second sector. Not too sure what happened with him.
I think Moto Lee, I didn't see the incident, but I think he just hit a purple sector too, so he's on a flyer here.
I might have a little bit of desync with Moto Lee or Jack Pemberton there. Not too sure what happened.
So I've got Moto Lee going across pit lane entry right now.
Yeah, okay. So I got Moto Lee in the right spot as he sets a 140.2. Only lap bank so far, as Peter immediately takes that. So what are you saying is going to be the fastest lap around here? Probably like 138.3-ish?
I think we're going to see 138. 38.3 seems pretty fast, but I mean, these guys surprise me every single time they go out. There's a 139.4 from Ian. We expecting him to go fast, like we said.
I think Ian had a
138, maybe 138.5, 138.6 is my prediction.
Ian with a 138.6 for the pole position in D2. So he can definitely go a lot faster than that. Just trying to get an early lap in to stay safe. And Duncan comes up in P2 with a 139.5. His ERS still not turning back on. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with that.
Watching Brian Hackeman in Ferrari finish up his lap going through the end of Sector 2 right now. Taking the tight turn 15 at the top of the hill. Oh, correction, he's actually on his out lap. My mistake. So he's actually getting ready to start a flyer here.
As he comes onto his flyer here, though, this little section right here is where you see a lot of incidents happen. It's real quick, and you can lose traction super easy on the rear end and end up spinning there. So, good job by Brian.
We've definitely seen a lot of incidents over the weekend in that spot right there, including in the D2 race, took out a bunch of front runners. And in the D1 race, we saw a bunch of incidents in the front straightaway as well, mainly related to safety car restarts. But I think by the time you get to the D1 race, it's one of the benefits of being in D1. You get to see these incidents, kind of learn what you should, keep an eye out for, kind of be expecting in the race here. So hopefully these drivers make the adjustment and not have the same incidents.
They've got plenty of footage to look at so far, see what common mistakes are happening and try to avoid those. And Brian Hackeman putting together a pretty good lap so far.
It's a pretty solid lap.
A little slow out of that turn, but nothing too crazy. See how he takes this little chicane right here. Just about perfect. Get back onto the power as he turns the car straight. And he's coming to the castle section with a little bit of traffic ahead of him, so we'll see if he gets held up at all. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1. I'm not too sure what happened there.
I think that's drivers just slowing down, letting people by.
Yeah, it looks like it's just one of the Haas's getting out of the way.
But right now, it's all about getting the quickest lap time in you can. Trying to get it started as close to the front as you can. This is a track where if you're not in the first 3 rows, it can get pretty hairy on a restart at the start of the races because everybody's going to check up going into the turns and you get kind of the accordion effect. So you want to start up as far forward as you can as Brian Hackeman runs down that wall NASCAR style right there. And let's see what kind of time he puts on the board in the Ferrari. He's picked up for P6 at 140.1. That's a good time.
It's decent for him. Yeah, honestly, I think P2's a better starting position than P1. You get that inside line into turn 1 if you can stay even with the race leader. And it's real easy just to take P1 off the rip there, so...
Yeah, it's not a long run down the turn 1. And really, you kind of want to just get through turn 1 clean, set up really for turn 2 is where you see a lot of the action, then down to turn 3 after that long straightaway. So, yeah, I agree. I think starting P2 would be a better starting spot here for sure.
There's not much room for overtaking around this track as there's so many technical corners you got to slow down for. Really, it's just the 2 straightaways you're going to have the chance to overtake on.
I'm watching Joel Guron in the McLaren following Eric McKerney in the McLaren, and I think Eric's setting him up for a tow down the front straightaway. Joel's on the medium tires, and he is definitely close enough to get a tow, and a tow on this straightaway is a really big deal. So,
Joel with a great start for the medium tire lap as he catches up to Eric McKerney. Eric's going to have to get out of the way here real soon, and Joel has to let off before the lap starts.
141 flat, and Eric now is going to start his flyer. Eric was actually on an out lap, so now Eric's going to go and do his flyer on the softs. But yeah,
Brian Hackeman's out of the session.
Oh no, what happened? The Ferrari,
I saw him.
Looks like he crashed in turn 15.
I saw him make contact with the wall in the castle section on his cooldown lap. I'm not too sure what happened from there, though.
It looks like he went off in turn 15, and Looks like the Haas drivers may be setting up here for a tow as well. I think they just, no, never mind. They were just letting each other by.
We've got Ian on a fast lap here as he makes contact with the wall coming out of that turn. No damage though. Hopefully he can keep good speed in the car here. So Ian nowhere close to his Q time in Division 2 quite yet. We haven't quite seen the 138s come out.
Now this track's got to get a little more rubbered in, I think, and watching the Red Bulls here go down the front straightaway doing the tow as well. Sleek's pulling Duncan McCamick. Duncan's still fighting for P2 in the championship. I mean, he's got a decent lead. He's got to get, I think whoever's in third place, Victor's got to pretty much win this race. Yeah, Duncan's going on the overtake for Sleek here. And they both overshoot the turn. It didn't work out at all.
For Duncan? We might be a little... I've got Duncan all by himself and Sleek's... I've got them nowhere near each other.
Alright, well, one of us desynced, and I got Duncan just...
I got Sleek falling a little bit behind Duncan. Never mind, I see Duncan pretty far ahead of Sleek here.
So, yeah, Duncan... I think I've got the real Duncan because he just pulled over to let a car by.
Oh, okay.
So
I've got Duncan running a fast lap currently. He's come up the castle section for me now.
This is one of these things about this game. We got to make sure we get all the syncs and we're connected to everybody here. I have a decent confidence here that I've got the real Duncan because the wheel's not jittery and he's cutting corners like a real player would, so I'm going to assume I've got the real one, and he's going into the castle right now.
Duncan coming onto the straight currently. Alright.
We've had this problem last week as well. Hopefully we catch them all before the race starts so we get everybody in the right spot. But yeah, I've got Duncan. It's like he's going into Sector 3 right now.
Oh, okay. We got Duncan finishing up his lap right now. Unfortunate, not quite sure what's going on with Duncan at the moment.
Did he post a lap time for you?
No, he's still going. His timer never stopped for me. So yeah, I've got the ghost Duncan here.
Ian just went faster again with a 138.8. First driver into the 138s.
So Ian's setting the standard pretty early here.
I was going to say, if you want to try a reconnect, we can probably maybe do it in between qualifying in the race, or you can try it now, but I can call it in the meantime if you like. But
find out what's going on here. We'll do a little reconnect here.
All right, I'm going to watch Jack Fletcher finish his lap in the Mercedes then. He's going down the hill to turn number 16. He's up 0.3 on his fastest lap so far. That would put him up to P3 if he can keep this pace up. Now he's up half a second. As he enters Sector 3, this long straightaway, which is a whole sector all by itself. And if that pace continues, that'll put him down in the 138s and maybe even up to P2. So Jack Fletcher's winding that Mercedes up down the straightaway. Let's see what he does as he comes across the pit entry and the start-finish line. That is good enough for P2. It's a 139.1. Jack Fletcher finds himself on the front row so far.
All right.
See who else I can find here.
Alright, we are back in now.
I've got Duncan in the pits, just so if you want to check that real quick.
Yeah, I got Duncan in the pit too. Okay.
Sweet. Alright, so maybe we're good. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
So Victor Diaz is coming back in. Moto Lee. Looks like he's on a fast lap currently.
He's running the medium tire.
P13 on the mediums, yeah.
So the medium tires here are the preferred tire. I mean, the soft tires here, they don't last very long. They tend to overheat, especially the rears, and they burn off too quick. So you'll see a lot of these drivers, if they can start on the mediums, they really would love to. But you've still got to pit in the race. So mediums to hard may be a strategy, maybe even mediums to soft later, but depends how many safety cars we get, and judging by the weekend, there's been a lot so far.
The hard tires are definitely Real hit or miss in this track. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't think you get enough traction out of all these tight technical corners.
I think Moto Lee just invalidated.
Yeah, I did see him hop a curb there.
I don't know if he has enough time to get. Well, I think he would. He would have enough time to get in and put the softs on if he wanted to.
His fuel light's not on. He might just go for a second lap here. Not too sure. He'd have to come in right now.
There in the Red Bull. Sleek up there in P6 in the Red Bull, the D2 driver subbing in this week, making a good showing with a 139.8.
Doing good here. The other D2 driver, Ian, currently on his out lap, going for one more fast lap on the softs here.
Yeah, Ian right
Bronson Stafford crashes out before he sets a lap time.
Oh no, Bronson!
Yeah, Bronson out in the second sector.
Coming out of the castle.
Looks like we got Peter coming up on him. Yeah. Looks like he just bounced off the wall coming out of castle there. And Peter doesn't have a front wing for me. I don't think that's true, though. He's doing... Oh, as he hops the curb and nails the wall for me.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, Peter taking a weird line coming into the straight here.
I don't think got him in the same spot I do. I think we're good.
I think I'm seeing some rear wing damage for Peter, too. Moto Lee's out of the session. Not able to finish that medium tire lap.
No.
Push a little bit too hard on the harder compound. Not able to hold on to it. Peter's not going to be able to get another lap in, probably, as he comes back into the pits.
Yeah, you're getting a preview of what this race is going to be. This is I mean, we talk about how hard Monaco is, but so far, Baku has been more destructive than Monaco, I believe.
It's going to be more of a race of attrition.
Yeah,
if you can finish, you'll probably be in the points. Yeah.
Just a race of endurance. Keep it off the wall, because these cars are going a lot faster here than they typically do at Monaco. So just get to the end and you'll have a good day.
So much speed on this track. You can hit just about as fast as these F1 cars can go, and then you have the other side of the track where you're going just about as slow as they want to go. So you got to be super careful with it. Duncan gets spun out. Looks like he got pit maneuvered by one of the McLarens.
Not gonna do it.
Looks like someone's watching a little bit too much NASCAR there as he gets spun out against the wall.
Ethan Patel jumps up P4 with a 139.2.
Oh, yeah, Ethan with a killer lap.
So Duncan's going to start his flyer here on the softs. Looks like Ian may have invalidated. He's coming out for a flyer here as well. He's going to do it on the second lap. So these guys are going to make one more run at pole position here.
Duncan on his last lap here. Mounting the curb, going into turn one, taking it real tight. Just staying on the track there. And Duncan makes some contact with the wall there. That's going to slow him down.
Yeah, Ian's rubbing the wall a little bit too on his lap here, but he's still got good pace. Keep an eye on him.
Like Duncan's wing is still intact, so though just a little bit of extra tire wear there on the sides.
Got a bunch of drivers on their fast laps now trying to get one more lap in.
So Peter, Sleek, and Eric all are going to stick with their times. Eric may get knocked out of the top 10. Plenty of drivers down there gunning for him. That'll also give Eric the option if he does. So it might be good for him. Seeing a tire coming out of Castle. That might be Bronson. It's still just sitting there.
Yeah, Ian's out. I think he invalidated.
Can't be too mad. Ian's still with pole position by a large margin here.
Yeah, Jack Fletcher trying to run him down, going through Castle right now. And he was up 3/10 on his first sector. And he's off the pace as well. I think he's saving the tires.
Duncan gets knocked down in P6 as Victor Diaz moves up to P5.
There you go.
Good lap from Victor Diaz there, and Duncan's about to finish up his lap, coming to the start-finish line, and Duncan unable to improve by much, only up by about 2/100ths of a second, so he's not going to catch Victor there. Ethan Patel
on next one to the line.
Let's see what we got.
McLaren coming down the straightaway. He's off on his time as well. I think
Yeah,
that's
he's
it.
actually on low fuel mode, so yeah, he's not gonna be able to get anything going.
Well, Josh Barnsley, I think the last one's going to cross the line in the Ferrari way back in P17. Let's see
Josh
what he can do.
Barnsley not taking the toe off of the pit entry there, strangely enough, as he's up almost a 10th, but not enough to catch Garrett Elder, so he's gonna be starting P17 as well. And I think that just about
There you
locks it
have it.
in, as
Yeah.
we just wait for these pit crews to get their cars into the garage.
So we got 9 drivers in the 139s. Ian, the only one to be able to get to the 138s. That's kind of surprising for me. I thought these drivers would go a
Yeah.
little bit faster. Maybe the conditions on track made little cars not quite as grippy as they were in the D2 race. But we
Well,
got 9
Peter's
drivers
also
in
up
the
there
139s.
with the medium tires.
I'm not sure. I think he put the mediums on at the end of the stint. We'll see here when they do the classification if he actually did the fastest time on
Yeah,
the softs.
Peter's
I
on the
think-
softs. Yeah. So
Yeah.
every driver on the softs. No one's starting on the mediums here. But your pole position is going to be Ian and Jack Fletcher in the Mercedes locking out your front row. Peter and Ethan on the second row. Victor Diaz and Duncan McCamick on the third row. Fourth is going to be Taylor Carter and Sleek. Doing pretty good to get in the top 10 in D1 here. Eric McCurney and Joe Garon's going to lock out your fifth row. We got Shaggy and Brian Hackham in sixth row. Followed by Jack Pemberton, Tyler, Moto Lee, Garrett Elder, Josh Barnsley, Buzzgod, and Alex, and Bronson Stafford, who failed to set a time.
I think the McLarens starting 9th and 10th. They're in a pretty good spot here in the constructors race.
Yeah.
You got the Red Bull. You got the you got the AlphaTauri. One AlphaTauri up there with. It went away. I didn't see it, but
Yeah, the AlphaTauri's are all split. So one AlphaTauri is in 13th and one is in 6th.
we get reports it's going to be a clear race. There's no rain in the forecast, so these drivers are going to have to get a chance to work on their strategies as we get ready to go racing here in the next 30 seconds.
All right, it's going to be a
Let's see
real
what these
exciting
boys
race
do.
coming on.
You want to get through turn 1 clean. You want to get down into turn 2 clean and then kind of settle into your rhythm from there. There will be some backups and some bottlenecks, and
Yeah, real
Hope those
hard to
drivers
try and
get
race
pace.
middle of the pack on this track. There's just so much you have to slow down for. Can't really battle till you get onto the straight, so the whole second and first sectors are really just you having to tuck in and try and keep it clean.
all right, I think we're getting ready to go here.
Should be. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And here we go. Ian gets away. Looks like he's got a way better start than he did in the D2 race, as he already has about half a second gap on Jack Fletcher.
In the back, Moto Lee and Jack Pemberton came together.
big pile up at turn 2. See if we can see what's going on there. We got a Ferrari, a
Mechanic
Haas,
involved.
an Alpha Tauri, a Red Bull, 2
3 or
Haas's.
4
one-
cars there.
Yeah. No one out of the race quite yet. Buzzgod takes up a 5-second penalty for collisions, as he's missing his front wing in the back there. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 penalties as soon as the race starts.
Yeah, they all came together there in turn 2. I guess somebody got turned around and they all kind of just plowed in there.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
think
was
the biggest
talking
one-
about earlier. You just got to tuck in behind and try and keep it clean until you get on the straights.
It's like Duncan McCamick was involved in that, and he had the worst impact. Lost 13 positions there. Working back in P19. There is a safety car though, so these drivers will get a chance to reset and fix those wings. Do you think anybody's going to come in and get rid of those soft tires at this point? I mean, remember that.
We saw it work out really well in D2 because there was also a lap 1 safety car there, and the undercut on the mediums worked out really well as the race went on and everybody pitted. So we'll see if anybody wants to follow that strategy. Is we have about 4 or 5 cars without any front wing, so they might as well have to pit now and try to catch back up. But the McLarens came out, both of them unscathed, and both up 3 positions, 6th and 7th now.
Really good for those guys in the constructors battle here. Picking up Ian up front to see if he decides to go ahead and put on the medium tires or ride it out some more. Doesn't look like he's coming
Ian
in.
saw the strategy work, but he's going to stick out the softs too here. And most of these drivers are going to stay out here. One of the
Eric
McLarens
McCurney's
comes
the
in.
first one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how the early undercut works out for him.
Yeah, Sleek, Taylor Carler's coming in as well.
Just about everybody without front wings is going to pit here. We'll see the whole back of the field.
Bronson Stafford overtook Moto Lee going into the pit lane and took off Moto Lee's wing.
Oh, gosh.
In the pit lane. In the pit lane. I've never seen that before.
So Bronson Stafford goes for the overtake in the pit lane. Just trying to catch back up here. And he also lost his front wing.
Yeah, I was watching Moto Lee, and Bronson came up on the inside and just kind of, they banged wheels, and I saw Moto Lee's wing fall off. So Bronson was in the back, you know, he started, I think, dead last in this
He
race,
started
actually,
P20, yeah. So he's up to P15 now.
I don't know if his wing incident was from that T2 incident or what, but everybody gets a chance to reset. Like you said, Hunty, nobody's DNF'd. Everyone's got a chance to reset here.
Someone that came out really well is Alex, who's up 8 positions from where he started.
That's great for Alex. So he moves up. He's up in the top P11 now. All those guys really from about P10 and back all kind of slid up about 5.
Yeah, most of the midfield
here.
came out really well from that T2 incident. So good for them. Everyone stays about where they should be, and 12th through 20th have all pitted for new tires. We got Buzz God and Jack Pemberton both on hards here, and everybody else opting for the mediums.
Your top 6, the only one still on softs except for Josh Barnsley way back in P18.
Yeah.
Pit put on
well, they've only got 2 turns of a fast lap on them, so plenty of life still left in the softs here.
Getting word that Alex in P11 may have an issue. His car, I think he may actually be AI driver right now.
Yeah, looking at him, he's a little bit twitchy how the AI drivers are. And he's not warming up his tires at all and just going straight through, so yeah, looks like Alex may be an AI driver.
Fixed. Hopefully he's going to try to get that fixed. It looks like Alex is reporting the game actually ended for him and said the race is over, so hopefully he can disconnect and reconnect and hop back in that car, because we promise you it's not. Just Codemaster's giving him a demo version of the game today night, so he's going to try to hop back in, hopefully get that fixed up, get that Haas running. It's good to see a Haas up in the top 10. Ian still up front, Jack Fletcher in P2, Peter Giordano in P3, and the Aston Martin. Ethan Patel still sitting up there in P4. All those drivers still sitting where they started in the race. They have not changed positions. Not till you get down to Shaggy in P5, or excuse me, P6, that we start seeing position changes, mainly because that incident I think happened in turn 2 with Duncan McCamick. And I'm going to think, since Duncan was the highest driver in that, of course we can't go back and watch it, I think Duncan may have had an issue there, and that's what triggered the incident with the cars behind him.
See if we can get a replay going to that at some point, but yeah, Duncan was the lead car there in that incident.
Everybody gets those tires nice and warm. I'm expect a restart this time by. The field has caught up to everybody. All 20 drivers still in the race. And I'm going to keep an eye on Bronson Stafford, who's moved up 6 positions already, even with the pit stop and the wing change. He's up to P14. So keep an eye on him as he cuts through the field here.
Yeah, Bronson Stafford came away pretty good from that incident. And so did the rest of the midfield, going all the way up to P6. Looks like we're going to get one more lap behind this safety car. Haven't gotten a notification of it coming in quite yet. But everyone's bunched up. The whole pack's here.
Hopefully we get it soon here.
Oh, yeah, safety car is in this lap. Okay. So Ian's going to be leading us off here. Gotta be real careful. The safety car restarts on Baku are a little different than usual, as the pit lane entrance is so far away from the start-finish line.
Seeing this end in tears in some of the other races.
You're gonna have to be real careful. Looks like Ian's giving the safety car plenty of space here, warming up his tires. He's playing it real safe. Looks like he's learned the lessons of a couple drivers there who've had some problems with the safety car restarts.
Like Alex just got back just in time. He's back in control of his car. Good for him and the Haas.
All right, so Alex, Haas top 10 currently. First time we've seen that so far this season. As Ian takes the field away here. He's accelerating going into turn 1 here. See if there's going to be any movement. We've got Victor Diaz on the inside of Ethan Patel. Looks like they're still battling it out. And Victor Diaz came away with that position off the restart.
Let's watch Tyler kind of run in the back of... I didn't catch it. He ran in the back. He lost a few positions there going through turn 1.
Taylor Carter takes a position off of Moto Lee here, who's trying to stay up with him. Moto Lee up the inside of Taylor and gets the position right back on the turn there. And Taylor's looking for a move on the Alpha Tauri. Doesn't quite have the line for it. They're side by side. Coming to this fast left-hander.
Jack Pemberton's got those hard tires on, able to hold him off. Hold off Taylor Carter.
Yeah, Jack Pemberton's going to be struggling to keep cars behind with those hard tires here.
We go into the Castle sector for the first time, full speed. Looks like everybody's making it through.
Everyone doing a great job keeping it clean through Castle. Taylor Carter still all over the rear of Jack Pemberton. Eric McCurdy makes a move on Alex, knocking him out of the points. And Alex gets overtaken by 2 cars now. Make it 3. Make it 4. Alex is now down into P13.
He must have wing damage.
Well, looks like he's keeping it going. Let's see if he comes into the pits here.
Whoa, we got a car in the wall. Fast turn.
That's
19.
Ethan Patel.
I think Brian Hackeman as well got in the wall there. It backed up everybody, but everybody else made it through, I think, okay.
So it looks like Ethan Patel's still on track, but he's going to be flying into the pits for a new front wing here. And that's going to knock him out of his top position there.
Alex stays out, and he gets hit. Oh, no, we got a sleek Moto Lee, Alex, and Taylor Carter all came together in P1. Jack Pemberton gets 3-4 positions right there. Alex is just... He went a little slower to turn 1. I think everybody expected right there, and it kind of caused some chaos.
A lot of cars side by side coming onto this first straight of the lap here.
I think that incident back in turn 19 kind of bunched everybody up, and they all went into turn 1. Meanwhile, Bronson Stafford's the man that kind of got lucky through all of that. He's up to P8 right now, and on the back of Tyler and Garrett Elder making really good pace. Yeah, Bronson Stafford just capitalized on every mistake that these drivers have made so far, and has moved up from P20 to P8. It looks like Ethan Patel may have an issue back in turn 2. Coming out of the pits. I think he may have come out of the pit lane and did something in T2 right there. He's back in P20.
Ethan
Not
Patel,
good luck for Ethan.
Way far behind. Duncan McCamick also not having a great race as he's pretty far behind the pack. As well as Brian
Long race to go.
Yeah.
Long race to go. You guys can still catch up, and safety car put him back in contention here. Got a bunch of cars on top of each other here. Like
Hopping on board. Looks like Josh Barnsley's going for a move. Josh Barnsley. Side by side through the fastest turns on the track. Yeah, Josh Barnsley gets the move done. He's a little bit ahead there. The wall. Moto Lee got the wall on the outside of that. He's the one that couldn't quite make it. I don't know if he's got damage or not. 2 sets of cars side by side on the straight, led by Josh Barnsley in P12. Just plenty of contested battles going all throughout the order here. Moto Lee had to go to the pits right there. He got the wall through turn 19 with side by side. Didn't work out for him. Looks like Sleek's going to get ahead. The McLaren makes a little bit of contact. That's Joel Guerin and Taylor Carter making some contact in turn 2. Doesn't look like there's any damage though. Joel Guerin's looking for a move on Taylor here. He's sticking really close to him. As he's looking around the outside here. Guerin going to take Taylor Carter there, heading into turn number 5 and 6. Looks like Joel gets the move done on Taylor there. Gets plenty of space ahead of him too. Just so much of a better exit than Taylor. Taylor had a bad corner there for sure. And that's going to give Buzzcott a chance to catch up as he makes up some time on the hard tires. Hunte, I'm watching Garrett Elder up in P6 up in the Williams. Oh, we got a yellow in sector 2.
I don't see who it was. It's cleared already. But yeah, Garrett Elder up in P6, and the Williams is, I think, holding up this train behind him here. You got Tyler in the Alfa Romeo, Bronson Stafford right on his gearbox, and that's allowed Eric McCurney to catch up as well. And I think we're going to get DRS this time. Bronson's making a move on Tyler here down the front straightaway.
We got Josh Barnsley looking for a move on Alex as well. So yeah, Josh Barnsley laying onto the ERS here behind the Haas driver. And makes contact with him. Josh Barnsley loses front wing as Alex hits the brakes on the front straightaway. I'm not too sure what that was all about. That's Buzzgod out of the race.
Yeah. Yep, and Garrett Elder and Bronson. Garrett had some contact with somebody and got a penalty there. They were all fighting into turn one when that safety car came out.
Yeah.
So another safety car. Gives a good opportunity for all of our leaders to go ahead and pit and put the medium tires on, so we can expect that, I'm sure.
Not too sure what happened with Alex and the Haas there. Looks like he just slammed on his brakes on the straightaway and took out Josh Barnsley's wing as he drops down the order in the pits. So the safety car gives drivers like Duncan, Brian Hackeman, Ethan Patel, all these drivers who are pretty quick but just haven't had a chance to catch up yet. It's given them the chance to be with the pack here.
So it looks like some of these drivers, I may have missed it watching the battle, some of these drivers actually pitted right before the safety car came out. Like Ian, your former race leader, is now back in P9. He's got the medium tires on already. Jack Fletcher, Peter Gordano, and Victor Diaz all still have to pit if they choose to get off those soft tires. That's going to knock them way down the order here.
Yeah, unfortunate for Jack, Peter, and Victor, who are all caught out by this safety car. And it really just gives drivers like Ian and Moto Lee just free pit stop to catch back up, get some free track position.
I think Ian timed that just right, so he's going to... Unfortunately, he lost the positions, but he will not lose as many as I think Jack, Peter, and Victor will here.
He's going to be able to probably ride out these mediums for just about the rest of the race if these safety cars keep up at the rate they're going.
Yep, top three in the pit just like we expected. Let's see where they come out here.
And we're looking to see where Peter comes out. He's already down in P5, P6, P7. If Ian gets ahead, that's bad news for him. Yeah, so Ian... just ahead of Jack Fletcher in the pits.
Yeah, that safety car really worked out for Ian right there. He does come back out. I mean, honestly, they really did come out in about the same order they probably would have. But they are P5 leading the bunch now. So we do know that Shaggy, Garrett, Tyler, and Eric here are on medium tires up in 1 through 4.
I think they started on those medium tires, didn't they?
I don't think they did. I think Shaggy, Garrett, and Tyler may have pitted on the lap 1 safety car. Went from soft
Let's pull up the stops. So yeah, Shaggy, Garrett, Tyler have all not made a pit stop yet. So those are the mediums they all started with.
Eric McCurney did. He's on a 5-lap old medium at this point.
So Eric McCurney really has come out the best of all this so far. He's an effective P1 as all the drivers ahead of him still need to make their first pit stop. And he has the opportunity to either ride out these mediums for the rest of the race and really try to push it or get the 2-stop going. But with a driver like Ian behind him, Ian, real pacey, can be putting on the pressure for Eric here.
I haven't seen a lot of how Ian works through traffic, though. We know he's quick. When he's out front in clean air, he's a quick driver. It'll be fun to kind of watch, see if he can slash through the field here. He's got 4 positions in front of him here. He's see how he can make those moves here.
Someone who's had some close races with Ian. Ian's a real clean driver. He keeps the pressure on you, but he's definitely gonna try and keep it clean here. He'll wait until the straights most likely to try and make an overtake. He's not one to force anything. He plays it real smart.
He's going to be under pressure from Jack and Peter behind him, though. You got Jack Pemberton down in 8th place on the hard tires.
Jack Pemberton.
Interesting strategies. We're going to see how this plays out. I mean,
yeah, real good mix of strategies going on throughout this race so far. As Duncan McCamick, Ethan Patel, and Brian Hackman have all caught back up to the pack just about. Just the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari left to catch up, so the safety car should come in this lap. Hopefully we can get a good couple laps of green flag running. I'm board with Peter here. I want to see how Peter slices through the field here. He's P7, and he currently has the most race wins out of any driver in Division 1. So he definitely has the pace to catch up.
Peter Giordano picked up the wins in Great Britain, Austria, and Russia. Would love to add a Baku trophy to his cabinet, I'm sure. But
it's just so hard to, yeah.
I'm not counting Garrett Elder out either. I mean, Garrett won in Monaco, and this, you know, if you're talking about comparing street circuits, we know this one is faster, but we know he can take the tight turns and get good traction out of there. He's up in P2 on the older mediums, but I mean, how far can you stretch those mediums out before you got to pit? Because
so what we've seen is about 18, 19 laps is about as far as you can go on the mediums, and that's really stretching them out and keeping them safe. But you also got to think half the laps that they've run so far have been under safety car.
Right.
So that's going to definitely save on the wear there.
I'm going to think everyone's got to pit. I think the two-stopper, if you unless you started on the mediums. But then what would you go to? Would you go to the softs at the end, or?
I don't know. They're gonna try and go, especially with all these safety cars that have been out. They can probably stretch it out till about lap 20, and get onto the soft tires, and try to finish the race on those. So I'm gonna say lap 19, 20. We're gonna see Shaggy, Garrett, and Tyler all come in if there's not another safety car.
You think Jack? You think Ian, Jack, and Peter are good to go the rest of the race at this point?
Yeah, Ian, Jack, and Peter are definitely able to finish the rest of this race here. We're talking about what, 17 laps left. They're all fresh mediums. They're definitely gonna be able to finish out on those. Same thing for Victor Diaz, Alex, Brian Hackham in the back, Josh Barnsley, Sleet also in a good position. Bronson Stafford, the story here.
Restart. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Safety car's pulling in. Everybody's stacking up here.
Let's hop on board with Shaggy here, as he's going to be the one to start off the field here in the Williams. But yeah, Bronson Stafford on the soft tires for his second compound, so I'm not too sure what the strategy is there. He's definitely going to have to pit again.
Bronson Stafford just took over 4 positions right there.
As
just
I
going
say
around
that,
the outside. Oh, Tyler's in the wall.
Was the strategy. Tyler's out of the race.
Alfa Romeo's out of the race. Came out of turn 1, hopped the curb, and nosed it right into the barriers. Out of the race.
Joe Guron loses a position to Victor Diaz. I'm not sure if anybody else has damage out of that incident. Alex drops a position to Ethan Patel. And it looks like all these front runners have gotten away real clean. Shaggy with a great start here, almost out of DRS range of Garrett Elder as he just breaks it coming out of these turns here. Garrett Elder loses about 2/10. Let's hop on with Bronson, and he's slicing through the field right now. Trying to catch up to that Mercedes of Jack Fletcher.
Just saw Peter Giordano lose 2 positions through turn number 6 right there. Not sure if he got wing damage or what, but
yeah, Bronson and Peter just about swapping spots on track here. So Bronson's on the soft tires. Yeah. He's going to have so much more traction than these drivers for at least a few laps here. As Ethan Patel has a spin. Let's see what happened to him. Yeah, Ethan Patel without a front wing in the back. That is killer for him. He's having a terrible time in this race.
Shaggy's done a good job to pull us over a second over on Garrett Elder here.
Which is big.
Garrett's out of DRS for the lap, and so is Eric McCurney.
Eric McCurney and Ian.
3 wide.
3 wide into turn 1. Ian gets the better of him. Eric McCurney looks like he's going to have the inside of Garrett Elder here. As they both take that position, and there's a Mercedes looking up the inside too here. Jack Fletcher looking up the inside into turn 2. Can he take that position? Victor Diaz is out of the race.
Victor Diaz has crashed out of the race.
So Garrett Elder loses 3 positions in turns 1 and 2, and Victor Diaz crashes out of the race on the hard tires, not able to keep traction on the harder compound. That's what we were saying earlier. It's just real hard to drive on those around this track.
That's going to kill his chance in the championship. That's going to gift Duncan McCamick's going to be your D2 or D1 second place championship finisher here. Victor's got to be careful he doesn't actually lose the third spot in the championship now he's DNF'd.
So that's killer for Victor Diaz. Definitely one of the favorites for a good finish here. Not able to keep it going.
Looks like Ian's going to be in DRS range going on the front straightaway here on Shaggy for the lead.
Yeah, Ian's gotten around Garrett Elder earlier in the lap here, so that buffer that Shaggy had between him, about 2 or 3 cars, instantly disappeared.
Joel Guron is backwards in the castle section, facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, we've got Garrett Elder reversing through castle. I want to hop back on board with Ian here. Don't want to miss this, as he's tucked right into the slipstream of Shaggy, looking up around the side by side through the start-finish straight here. Ian with so much more speed.
He's not getting it done, though. There's no Shaggy this time by. Shaggy's holding the position.
Yeah, Shaggy's got the inside line here. That's what he needs. A little bit of contact in turn 1.
Oh!
We got a Mercedes. Jack Fletcher spins backwards in turn 1. Looks like he tried to late brake there and just cooked it out.
I think Eric McCurney was on the outside. They had contact, and Jack actually spun outward like Eric may have bumped him in the corner there.
Oh, that's killer. We'll have to take another look at that and see how that works out. Eric McCurney tucking in behind Ian here. Hasn't lost much time on him at all. And Shaggy's holding him up a little bit.
Meanwhile, look who's running P4 and caught this group on the soft tires. Bronson Stafford making the recovery drive from last on the grid up to P4.
And we should get DRS on this lap here. So Bronson Stafford's sitting pretty. Shaggy backwards, going into the castle section.
Shaggy, oh no, Garrett Elder's around as well in the castle. He's parked sideways in the castle. This is going to cause a bottleneck. Moto Lee's crashed it. Oh, yeah. They're all piling in.
Plenty of drivers hitting Garrett Elder. So
everybody's stacked up in the castle.
Garrett Elder keeps the position just because of the nature of castle section. It's so tight, you can't fit 2 cars through there. And Moto Lee's going to pick up a penalty for that pile up.
Safety car's out. Safety car. Wow.
Yeah, we had a bunch of cars stopped on track there. Garrett Elder couldn't get it back around.
Let's recap. If I got this right, it started with Shaggy lost it out of turn 7, one of the tightest turns on the track heading up to the castle. And then Garrett Elder lost it going into the castle. He was parked perpendicular across the track, and that caused everybody else just to pile in. And I mean, we're going to see a lot of drivers pit here to put new front wings on because they all entered that castle and just accordioned into each other.
I think Garrett Elder lost it trying to get around Shaggy, just didn't have the line he wanted going in there. Shaggy picks up a penalty for good measure for speeding in the pit lane.
Here. Everybody's coming in the pits. Look at this.
Well, this is a great time to put on the fresh mediums as well to finish out the lap, finish out the race, have good traction throughout the rest of it. Eric McCurney still staying out. I don't know if he's pitted yet. I think he has.
I'm surprised Bronson Stafford stayed out too on the soft tires.
All right, so everybody is pitted now finally as Garrett Elder gets his pit stop in. The last one to not take a pit stop. So Eric McCurney looks like he's going to try and finish out the race on these old medium tires. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to keep Bronson behind him.
Yeah, I don't know. Bronson's going to have to pit again too. Bronson's on soft tires. Those are not going to go the rest of the distance. But so, I tell you, who's looking in a pretty good spot here. Stop. Ian in that Williams is sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, Ian came out the best of. Yeah, Ian came out the best of that whole kerfuffle throughout that lap. Managed to overtake 2 cars coming into turn 1, overtake another one, and then stick behind Shaggy until Shaggy had that incident.
Man, that was a lot of action on lap 12 right there.
So much action going throughout this entire race.
It's bad news for Shaggy. Shaggy actually went to the hard tires back in P8.
That's questionable. I think Shaggy did start on the mediums, and that was his first pit stop, so he wants to finish out the race without having to pit again. So didn't get to do his preferred strategy of the mediums, the softs here, so that's killer for him.
Check out my fantasy pick. Peter Giordano down in 7th place, fresh medium tires. He should be good the rest of the distance as well. Taylor Carter in front of him, also on fresh mediums.
So every driver down is going to finish from P6 down is going to finish the race on these compounds most likely. Alex and Brian Hackeman both going to be able to finish, but they're going to start losing traction towards the end here. But Eric McKerney's looking the worst off here. Even though he is P2, he's going to have 23 laps on those medium tires at the end of it, which is really pushing it.
So this is looking really. Eric McKerney's in a really good spot to take P3 in the championship right now, with Victor being out of the race, and Bronson Stafford.
I think Eric really has to hope for a safety car.
Well, I was going to say Bronson and Eric are really only 1 point apart, so both of these guys are fighting for P3 in the championship at this point.
Yeah, I would say they both have to pit at some point, most likely, especially Bronson. So it's really going to be between them.
Shout out to Brian Hackeman up in P4 in the Ferrari.
Yeah, Brian Hackeman with his best run he's had all season. Not really someone we see up with the front runners, but he's definitely making it work, coming out, keeping it clean. And has been able to capitalize on all the incidents that have happened in front of him. Ethan Patel picks up a 5-second penalty.
Ethan Patel is not having a good day at all.
Absolutely.
But he's still running. He's still in the race. So
another big story, Duncan McCamick has moved up from P19 to P11. So he's catching back up with the pack. Jack Fletcher picks up a penalty.
You got to give some room under the safety car here.
Yeah, there's no reason to be that close. You got plenty of time to catch up once that message pops up that it's coming in. So, give it a couple car lengths, give yourself space to brake here. All these drivers are just really eager to get the race back going, so can understand why they're being so close to each other. But yeah, Brian Hackeman given plenty of space. That's the Haas of Alex is really close behind him. Maybe a little bit too close.
What do you think about Ian? Are you surprised he's running P1 and D1?
Ian's a fast driver no matter which way you cut it, so I definitely saw him being up there towards the front. It's just all happened for him. It's really come together for Ian, who's been able to capitalize on other drivers' mistakes.
He's in a really good spot as he gives the safety car some room. We're going to go back to green flag racing this time by. Everybody's caught up.
So we got Ian leading off the pack here. Every driver behind him warming up the tires as the safety car pulls into the pit lane now. So Ian, once again, is going to be starting us off for another safety car restart. Shaggy down in P8. P9. Shaggy gets overtaken by Jack Pemberton under safety car.
Oh, we got it. Peter
Peter picks up a penalty.
Jack Pemberton.
Jack Pemberton up to P5. P7.
No.
And Jack Pemberton's dropping all the way down. I'm not sure what happened to him. He's out. He's around somewhere. Jack Pemberton had to pull into the pits. He lost his front wing to Peter.
They all tried to anticipate the start and ran into each other.
Definitely not as catastrophic as the D3 one, but Bronson Stafford looking at Eric McKerney up the inside into turn 3 here. Can Bronson make the move stick? Eric McKerney with a better exit, but Bronson has the better line going into the next turn here. And Bronson gets the move just about done on the McLaren here. Yeah, he's well ahead. So the softs having so much more traction than the old mediums here.
Joel Guron had a moment in turn 2, had to take the escape road back out and reset and do it again. Bad luck for McLaren.
Fortunate. As next up for Eric McKerney is Brian Hackeman, who is real close behind, also under pressure from the Mercedes of Taylor Carter.
Duncan McCamick's all over the back of Shaggy
hopping on board with Duncan McCamick, who has the better tires than Shaggy here. Should be able to get a far better exit coming out of the straight than him, just due to straight up traction.
Shaggy locking up those front tires heading into turn 15.
Shaggy struggling on the hard tires as Duncan McCamick all over his rear here, almost bump drafting him as they come in. Ethan Patel's out of the race. Yeah, another safety car.
Add salt, just to add salt to the wound. Ethan Patel lost it at turn 16.
All right, so we're on
Joe
safety
Guron
car
coming up
number
to-
4 here as Ian, Brian Hackeman, Bronson Stafford all get into the pits here. No, Brian Hackeman stays out. Eric McCurney stays out, surprisingly.
I don't get it. We're
I
gonna have to pit.
Yeah,
I got Bronson Stafford in the pits, actually.
Yeah, Bronson Stafford in the pits, hopping on to 2-lap old mediums. So he has a scrub set of mediums in the bank here that he's able to get on. I think those are the tires he started the race on, so definitely able to finish out. Only 10 laps left. 2 of them are going to be under safety car, at least. So we got about half a lap of green flag running in there before there was another incident. So all these drivers are so close on pace to each other that they're sticking in right next to each other, which is causing a whole bunch of incidents. So, real stories here. Eric McCurney, so most of his laps on his mediums have been under safety car, so he may be able to stretch these out to the end of the race.
Getting reports from the Alfa Romeo that Ethan Patel may have had brake issues, and this may have explained some of his struggles today. So bad luck for him.
If anybody knows about brake issues, it's you. So
I've had them, yes. Unfortunately for Ethan, it cost him a finish here today, though. That Alfa Romeo. That's not the way you want to finish your season. But yeah, Eric McCurney's looking like he's in a good spot. Bronson Stafford's got another recovery drive back in P13.
Eric's pushing a little hard here on the safety car lap, trying to catch it. If I was him, honestly, just doctor the tires. Just be real gentle with them. Treat him like they're your baby as he slides the rear out a little bit there.
I wonder, did he miss the pit entry when the safety car came out? Was he already committed to the lane? Or is he
No, Eric McCurney was able to pit. He just didn't do it. I think he's actually going to try and finish the race on these old medium tires, which is maybe doable if he can treat him real nice. Alex hops into the pits here. So that's a Haas that's going to drop out of the points here as Sleek comes around. Should pull off ahead of him. Yep. As they come up to the safety car out of turn 2 on the first straight of the lap. It's going to bunch the pack up, giving some of these drivers a chance to catch up, especially drivers like Jack Pemberton and Joe Guron, who are way behind.
Let's see if they can all regroup cleanly here and not run in the back of each other. We've seen some struggles with that as everybody comes flying into turn 3 here.
Yeah. It's a blind turn as I have Eric McCurney upside down. A little bit of desync there, I think, as he
he had an issue. He's down to P3. He's lost his front wing. I don't know what happened.
I'm gonna have to send you what I saw there because I had him upside down in the runoff. So Eric McCurney, no front wing, loses the position, gonna have to pit anyway.
Those McLarens are strong. Yeah.
So yeah, Eric McCurney gonna have to pit anyway. Unfortunate for him. That was his strategy ruined. He is gonna drop back down the pack here. Ian's in P11 though, so he may have killed his chance to win this race by pitting again under the safety car. He's gonna have more traction, but it's so hard to make these overtakes here.
So 4 safety cars. We've had maybe, 4 or 5 laps of green flag racing so far?
Yeah, not much green flag racing. But Duncan McCamick moving up. Peter Giordano moving up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in front. I was just going to say, Moto Lee, Alex, and Joel Guron are the only soft runners here. And based on what you were saying earlier, they may be able to finish the race on those soft tires at this point. So I'm going to keep an eye on them back in the pack.
Should be able to finish. Agree with that. Brian Ackerman, our race leader, though, the 9-lap old mediums, definitely going to be able to finish out on those. Taylor Carter with the much fresher tires, though, behind him. As we're going to see Eric McCurney probably peel off into the pits here. It's going to promote Peter up into P3. Shaggy's caught back up into P4 on the hard tires. And Duncan McCamick is going to be up in P5.
Eric's going to the pits, just like you said.
And Eric DNF's in the pits.
Oh, no!
Went a little too fast in there and pulled a Lewis Hamilton. Not able to hold on to it without the front wing. Didn't account for that. So the pit ling's going to be blocked off for every driver behind him as Josh Barnsley... Oh, looks like they cleared it out real fast then. Okay, so Josh Barnsley and Jack Pemberton are both going to come into the pits here.
Jack picked up a speeding penalty on his way in right there for good measure, too.
Unfortunate for Eric. The McLaren's just having a rough go of it this race. As Joel Guron still hasn't been able to catch up. Currently a whole minute behind.
This is Baku. What a finale. I mean, Baku is just. We said it's going to be a race of survival. And we saw the D3 race, right? There were 5 drivers to finish that race, and we saw the D2 race where I think we had 6 or 7 DNFs. I think. I mean, we're at this point. We're at 5 DNFs for the D1 race, 4 safety cars. It's a tough track, guys. This is a tough race. I mean, a lot of the drivers have experienced that this weekend. You got to get to the end, man, and good things will happen. So hopefully we can go green flag from here on out, give these drivers a chance to race, sort themselves out.
One driver who's a real surprise here is Ian back in P9. Fresh tires, but he's going to have to cut through a lot of the field here. And plenty of fast drivers in front of him. But Peter and Shaggy both have that penalty ahead of Duncan, so honestly, he could probably tuck in behind him and come away with a podium.
Wonder if safety car will go green this time. We do have a McLaren. Joel Guron's trying to catch up to the pack here.
Haven't seen a notification come in yet that safety car is coming in. And we're coming onto the straight here, so I don't think we're going to get any green flags here. It's probably letting Joel Guron catch up to the pack as he's still 18 seconds behind.
Getting confirmation from Eric McCurney that he was upside down, actually.
So Eric McCurney was able to keep his car going after going upside down. That's a testament to the McLaren chassis.
It's pretty strong.
The halo saving him.
This gives... I'm trying to think of who the other driver I saw upside down. I think it was Duncan McCamick I saw upside down at Russia last week, but thankfully these drivers can walk away and do it again another week. But Bronson Stafford's in a really good spot here for P3 of the championship. If he can get... he just needs 10 points, and he's got P3, so...
Bronson Stafford coming out of the pits, sitting last place, but fresh as tops on the track. Gonna be able to finish the race in that compound. But he does pop in behind Joel Guron here for what should be the last lap of the safety car.
Yeah, Bronson pitted with fresh softs, actually, down to P15. While we got a second, I would like to just give a shout out to ZRL for a fun first season. D1, D2, introduction to D3. They're bringing in an Assetto Corsa Competition Zone League next season. It'll be fun to watch some GT cars go flying around the tracks, and different tracks, different speed, different pace.
Hopefully we can get some Assetto Corsa on the channel. That'll be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
I actually haven't touched Assetto Corsa in years. It's been a while. I used to be really into it.
It's fun to drive for sure.
I give it a shot.
Fun to watch the cars drift through the corners a little bit. F1's all about the aero. The GT cars really sliding through. It's driving with your feet. It's a lot of fun.
I actually hear Rivas won one of the Assetto Corsa races early on here.
Rivas built himself a good team for Assetto Corsa, is what I've heard.
Yeah, so watch out for the Rivas-sponsored racing team in the Assetto Corsa.
I want to get the name right. It's the Scuderia Rivas Racing AMR Mercedes team.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Anyway, safety cars
Jack
coming
Pemberton
in
out of the race on the safety car. Hop on board with Brian Hackman here, as he's going to be the one to lead us off here. Unfortunate for AlphaTauri, losing Jack Pemberton and Victor Diaz, so they're not going to be able to catch up with constructors like we thought they were.
Jack Pemberton says he was floating at one point, so I don't know what's going on. Let's go to the restart, though. Brian Hackman leading the race at Baku. It's going to be less than, 6 laps to go?
Yeah.
Let's see if the Ferrari can pull it off. He
As
goes early.
Brian Hackman leading into turn 1's got Taylor Carter, Peter Giordano behind him. Haven't quite seen any contact happen yet as one of the Mercedes looks up the inside. And Shaggy goes around. And there's the contact we were looking for. So Shaggy losing some positions. Duncan McCamick up into P4. Shaggy P6. As he is being contested by Garrett Elder, who's looking around the outside of Shaggy. Just doesn't have too much traffic to make the pass here. A little bit of contact between the Williams and the Mercedes. And one of the Williams is around.
Garrett Elder goes around. Got hit by somebody. Josh Barnsley and Moto Lee battling in the back. This is just chaos.
Bronson Stafford moves up into the points on the fresh softs here, so he's come away pretty good from that whole incident. Moving up from last place to 9th. Joel Guron knocked into last place as him and Sleek battle it out, the no-wing gang.
Peter Guardano moves up to 2nd place.
Let's hop on board with Bronson Stafford, who's looking on a move on Moto Lee here. The Aston Martin right behind the Alpine, coming out of the castle section. Way better exit than the Alpine here. Moto Lee able to stay just in front. Bronson Stafford, a little bit of wheel spin there. I don't know who's the cameraman for this track, because they have their camera tilted at all times.
We got a good little draft train going down the front straightaway with our leaders here.
Yeah,
see some action.
Tucked in right behind Brian Hackeman. Oldest tires in the track. Oh my gosh, so Ian, no front wing. Ian, one of the favorites to win the race, not going to have the chance to, as he has to pit this lap.
Back up front, Bronson Stafford is all over the back of Brian Hackeman here.
Brian Hackeman able to stay out in front. The Mercedes goes real wide into turn 1 here, giving Duncan McCamick a little bit of the run. But he loses the position to Jack Fletcher, and then gains it back in turn 2, loses it again, side by side.
I want to correct myself. I said Bronson. I meant Peter Guardano's over the back of Brian Hackeman. Bronson's doing his recovery drive, doing very well at it too.
Bronson Stafford all the way up in P8 from P15 earlier, so great
keeping an eye on this battle for second here, or for the lead. The first 5 cars are all over each other here.
Yeah. And 2 of them both have penalties. That's Peter and Jack Fletcher, so they might actually get knocked out of that too. So yeah, P1 through 5 have all pulled away. Shaggy holding up the pack on the old hard tires. 7 laps old, not able to keep up with all these far more grippy tires in front of him.
You just got to do it. Just got to hang with those
boys.
You got
a flying through castle section. Great job from him. Brian Hackeman doing real well to keep the pack behind him. Able to pull out about a half a second gap. As a little bit of contact with the Aston Martin pushes Brian Hackeman into the wall. Doesn't look like there's any damage. And Sleek's out of the race. Looks like he had an incident in the 2nd sector somewhere. Yeah.
Coming out of the castle, yep. And Moto Lee's out of the race.
Moto Lee in castle, so that's going to bring out a safety car most likely. Or the safety car might just be out of gas from running too much. Not too sure, as we have Alex moving up onto the castle section. Looks like the car's still sideways, and so Alex has to stop because he cannot get around the Alpine of Moto Lee. And
Jack Fletcher took P3.
Ian, just not giving Alex the chance as Ian flies past him, loses his front wing. Alex missing part of his front wing. Ian might be a little upset of where this race has gone because he just shoved Alex out of the way with the car there.
We got a battle for the lead. They're side by side going into turn number 4.
Looks like Peter's got the better line going into the turn there.
Oh no, Jack Fletcher's upside down and over the wall.
Jack Fletcher still in the race. No, so he's out of the race for going over the fence into the crowd almost. As we see a couple people just confused on the balcony there, didn't know what just happened. So
Jack Fletcher, Brian Hackeman kind of squeezed Jack into the wall right there, and Jack just
that's killer for Jack Fletcher. Taylor Carter in the Mercedes on for his best finish of the season.
I'm also getting reports from the drivers. There's lots of desync going on in the race right now. That may explain some of the issues with cars flipping upside down.
That's unfortunate. These drivers can't leave and come back, so whatever desync they have, they're stuck with, unlike us. So it's killer for them. Yeah, Alex going to finish in the points, though, if he can keep it on track here.
I'm going to bet Brian Hackeman's got some desync issues because the way he squeezed Jack right there. But meanwhile, Taylor Carter's going to make the move on Jack, or Brian Hackeman here.
Looks like Taylor Carter gets the move done. Duncan McCamick up the inside. Let's hop on board with that. He's trying to make the move on Brian Hackman into turn 1.
Yeah.
Has the inside line. And Duncan McCamick's around. Brian Hackman hits him.
Brian Hackman's got desync.
Yeah, there's no way he knew he was there for that one. That was a killer moment for Duncan McCamick. That knocks him out of the podium positions that he was in.
Wow.
As he's got to try and catch back up with 3.5 laps left to go in the race. Bronson Stafford moves up into P4.
Bronson doesn't need to get anywhere near Brian Hackman right now. I don't know who's desynced on Brian's screen, but
Brian Hackman just running his own race. Doesn't know where any other drivers are relative. So Bronson can just tuck in behind and get a 3rd place finish here with Peter Giordano with that penalty, as long as Taylor Carter can stay caught up.
I don't know. Peter may appeal these penalties. He's got 2 5-second penalties here. They may get overturned, so he may be our race winner at the end of this whole thing. But,
I think they were for contact under safety car.
So if he goes down 10 seconds, that'll put him way down in 7th or 8th, I believe. So
yeah, that should put him down in 7th place.
We still got 4 laps to go here, so he might pull a gap, but
They can pull a 10-second gap. Yeah.
There, with the amount of issues in this race with desync and everything else, I wouldn't be surprised if there may be a vote to redo this race. We saw that happen in Portimao with the D2 race when they redid it the next day on Monday. Don't know what they're going to do yet, but obviously there's some game issues going on right now, and hopefully they can get it sorted out.
Brian Hackman, who's been unable to.
Bronson's about to overtake Brian here. Let's see how this goes here.
Bronson Stafford, better tires into turn 1, has the inside line. Real easy for him. Brian Hackman, contact with the Aston Martin. Yeah, Brian doesn't know he's there. That's...
Yeah. Well, no, Brian, I think the...
Yeah, Brian has no clue he's there. There's no way.
He gave him room, so I think he does. I mean, because he didn't go all the way to the wall there, so I think he knows Bronson's there. He got through. They did touch a little bit. But now, Brian Hackman's out of battery, and he's just sitting duck for Shaggy.
He's on the 16-lap old medium tires, so that's about the crossover point where the hard tires are going to be faster than the mediums. The mediums are going to start to blister and slide around. Shaggy also has that penalty. I'm not too sure if that's going to get taken off or not. I think it's for contact under safety car, so it may. So what's left of the drivers here have all separated out just about out of DRS range of each other, save for Shaggy and Brian Hackman. So this may be about where we finish.
I think Shaggy's going to make a move on Brian here down the front straightaway. I just don't know if Brian knows he's in the game or not. So we're going to see.
Yeah, hopefully Brian's tracking where Shaggy is. So Ian sets the fastest lap of the race, but outside of the points currently, so that won't matter for him. All he's really doing is taking away a point from somebody else. So Shaggy tucking in behind Brian Hackman, coming on to the longest straight of the season here. Plenty of slipstream. Brian Hackman out of battery. Shaggy with the battery on, DRS on, looking up the inside of turn 1 here, and looks like the move's going to be easy for him.
Does he know he's there? Yeah, they gave a little room. Brian Hackman just trying to hold on here. Still looking for his best finish of the season, though.
Brian Hackman, P5, still really good for him as he makes contact with a wall there. Not too sure if he has damage. Duncan McCamick looking behind him now. In the slipstream of Brian Hackman. DRS not close enough.
I'm going to say that he doesn't know where Duncan McCamick's at. Because we saw Duncan go upside down once already. No, it's a different race, I'm sorry. But I don't know. Who knows?
Brian Hackman did spin Duncan around earlier in the race, though. So Duncan may just give him the space and just try to finish the race.
We don't know what these drivers know in the car. Who knows who can see what. And
wish we could get a POV of all of them, but that's just not feasible. So Brian Hackman now has Duncan McCamick behind him in DRS range as Shaggy goes up the Castle Straight really fast for those hard tires.
Shaggy doing a good run today.
Yeah, Shaggy having a great time with it. So Duncan McCamick in DRS range to Brian Hackman, who's lost it from Shaggy. About a second and a half down. Shaggy outpacing Brian by a good margin here. And we should see Duncan try to make the move on the straight here.
I would expect it. Definitely would expect it. I don't know. I mean, at this point, our de facto race winner at this point, as we head into the last lap, is actually Taylor Carter in the Mercedes. Bronson Stafford's trying to close him up on the soft tires, but
So Duncan McCamick close in behind. DRS, battery on. Duncan McCamick out of battery. But he does have the inside line coming into turn 1. Does Bronson know he's there this time?
No,
Lots of contact.
he doesn't.
And yeah, Bronson has no idea Duncan's there as he pushes him out of the way. Don't think he meant to, though. Another DRS straight right after this. Duncan with another chance to make the line work.
Yeah, this could end in a plane crash, though, like so many others.
He's got to be so careful here. Brian Hackman's definitely going to take the fast way to get into this turn. And yeah, there it is. And Duncan McCamick smacks his wing against the wall. I'm not sure if it's still there.
Man.
So Duncan McCamick lost part of his front wing out of that exchange.
Well, he's not really under any threat from Garrett Elber behind, who's 11 seconds behind, so he's just got to finish the race at this point. I'm watching Bronson Stafford run down Taylor Carter. This could be for the race win right here. Bronson Stafford on soft tires on the last lap.
Half a lap to go.
In DRS range. You know we get that DRS on the front straightaway is good enough to do an overtake.
Short. Yeah, it's so short, though. But Bronson Stafford has plenty of ERS to make this move work as he starts to lay onto the battery for the last half of this lap.
This has been a crazy race, but we could see a hell of a finish here if we get a run down the front straightaway. Bronson
Stafford
in DRS
cracks
range.
in the DRS range, absolutely. Has the better traction here. Should be able to have a faster exit out of these two windy turns here.
They're both on the battery as hard as they can.
Bronson Stafford lays off the battery, gets right back on it after the turns. You don't want to spin out there. And looks like Taylor Carter may be able to keep him behind. He's trying to break that slipstream Swiss, swerving around a little bit. And Brian Hackman, it's a photo finish. I'm not sure. Bronson Stafford manages to... Oh, no, he's about a tenth behind Taylor Carter. Yeah, so Peter Giordano, P3 after the penalties. They probably will get appealed. We'll see how that turns out. Followed by Brian Hackman, who has the best finish of the season, but with a little bit of drama surrounding it as he takes out two drivers, namely Duncan McCamick, who wasn't able to get the pass on him, and Shaggy P5.
Unfortunately, but I think I think Josh or Jack Fletcher was a victim of that. But I mean, it's not his fault. He doesn't know they're there. It's DSIC issues. It's what we got to deal with in this game. Now it's up to the admins and the stewards to figure out how they're going to handle this. And but hey, let's give credit where credit's due. Taylor Carter in the Mercedes. I think this is his first win. Yeah. First win, best finish of the season. I mean, he only finished. He only did 3 races actually, but he did get his first win. And so we'll talk to him in a second. How about, regardless of anything, Bronson Stafford starting dead last in this race.
Up into P2. Yeah. Great job from
Bronson.
I was questioning the soft tires multiple times throughout that race, but, he made them work. And it turns out they were definitely the right call. Ian, last place from first. He was first for most of this race. Just not able to hold on to it. He did have a couple incidents there.
Let's see if we can talk to some of these guys. That's going to move Bronson up to P3 in the championship as well. He's going to get that final step, or not really a podium for the championship, but it counts. He gets P3 in the championship. It'd be interesting to hear what these drivers have to say. I'm sure there's going to be some opinions about this race, and we'll see how this works out here.
Bronson Stafford, driver of the day. I got to agree with the game for this one. Bronson Stafford, last of second. Great race from him. You got, again, 2 Aston Martins on the podium, a sight we're used to seeing here. As they pull even further away with their championship for the constructors. Peter takes his driver's championship even further, really cementing his lead here. All right, let's try and get these drivers in here.
Here, let's see. I got Taylor Carter here.
Let's get Taylor Carter in, our race winner.
Taylor Carter. What's up, brother?
Oh man, what a wild Grand Prix that was.
Tell us. Well, first off, congrats on your first win. I don't know. There's some discussion about Peter's penalties and things like that, but right now you're on the top step of the podium. Walk us through your weekend at Baku, man. That seemed like a crazy race.
Yeah, came out of qualifying, I think in 7th. Wasn't where I wanted to be. I know there were some hard hitters, Ian obviously, and Moto Lee and everybody. So I was happy, I guess, with 7th, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen the playback yet, what happened in the second corner, but it was kind of straight carnage in front of me. Found myself in 16th and just kind of played the safety car as well and got myself into position. And yeah, I was able to hold on.
That was a great race from you, man. Anything you were concerned about going into the weekend?
Yeah, just not losing wheels or front wings. So it's
Yeah.
a street circuit, and with all the desync issues and stuff, I was just hoping I could get through clean.
Hey, man, just stay away from all the desync issues that were happening behind you. But great race from you, man. Congratulations on your first race win on the last race. Closed
Thank
it
you,
out
guys. I
strong.
appreciate it. Yeah, look forward to next season.
Yeah, man. We'll see you around. Let's get Bronson Stafford in here. Bronson, how you doing, brother?
Oh, pretty good. Okay, tired.
That's understandable.
So that race, first off, I mean, you know, there's some clouds of penalties and drama with the desyncs and everything else going on in this race right now. But right now you're P2. You start at P20. That's a great drive, man. Walk us through it.
No one knows how to drive, and they all just kept hitting walls and each other. Like, genuinely, I didn't really do anything. I think I passed 3 people the entire race. Every other time I went into turn 3, there were 5 cars spun out. I went into turn 2, there was 3 cars spun out. Someone DNF'd in Castle, so, like, didn't really have to do much. Everyone kind of gifted me it.
Oh, that's a pretty nice gift, man. P2 works out good. I think that moves you up to P3 in the championship if everything kind of holds. We don't know how everything's going to work out after the stewards and everything, but hey, man, congrats on P2. Well done.
Yeah, I am pretty sure we are with Victor not getting any points. I only need 10 points on him and got 18 with him not finishing. So
I think you
we
move
should
up
be
in the
good
driver's
to get
settings
to
there.
P3 there. Yeah, so we should be good to get P3 there. But not a great season overall. I really do wish we were taking a little bit of a break and reassessing people's abilities and like getting people more used to racecrafting. But it is what it is. It's been fun when the races have been clean, so at least there's that. But hopefully by the time I come back midway through the season, that it's cleaned up a bit.
Yeah, well, we're excited to see you back next season. It's been great from you and your teammate Peter, so hopefully we see y'all both back running pretty well next season.
Well, yeah, like I just said, though, I won't be here the first half of the season, so you'll have Peter and someone else in a car together. So I don't even know where I'll be when I come back, so we'll see. But hopefully it'll be fun.
All right, man. Way to close out the season strong with a nice podium. Congratulations. Let's try to get Peter up in here.
All right, Peter's in. Peter, congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Seemed like a pretty crazy race from your perspective. You know, we're talking with the other drivers as well. We don't know what the issues with your penalties. I'm sure may be appealed, but I don't know. But you finished P1. You got P3 after the penalties. We saw a few times you had to go into the pits and do a little recovery drive there, but it looked like a pretty crazy race from our perspective. How about yours?
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. So quali, I was trying to just do a lap to give Bronson a tow, but I crashed coming out of the pits, so that ruined my quali. I mean, P3 is still pretty good, but I felt like I had enough pace for pole. And then in the race, Garrett, I think so. When Shaggy spun at the castle section, I think Garrett slowed down because he was like nervous, and he kind of like brake checked me by doing that, so I had to box for that. And then under the safety car restart, I was talking to Jack, and he said that he thought everyone was going, but then everyone like broke, I guess. So that's how I got my penalties. So I'm gonna get those appealed and take my win, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully that all works out for you. But still a great way to finish off the season. You won the Drivers' Championship, Constructors, finished it with a podium, at least. So just a great way to finish it off all for you there, man. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, for sure. Especially getting Bronson P3 in Drivers.
Yeah. So how you think about next season? You're losing Bronson. You think got any teammates in mind?
Yeah. Can I announce it?
I think we gotta wait, but
Guy's pretty cool.
All right. We'll wait. But yeah, I got some.
All right. Good deal. All right, pretty excited to see who's going to be in the other Aston Martin next season. But yeah, congratulations on your podium finish here. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, that has been the last race of the first season of the Zoom Racing League D1. We've had 2 different names throughout the season here. Been the Reddit Grand Prix into the Zoom Racing League. Thanks to everybody that stuck around for the full season. Lots of action going on in every division. We've got a new division halfway through the season. It's probably the last time you got me and PBJ here.
Yeah, I was going to say, Hunte, I really enjoyed the time broadcasting with you, man. It's been a
Yeah,
lot
man,
of fun.
it's been great.
Been a great teammate in D2
Awesome,
as well.
awesome broadcast partner. Thanks for carrying me to that D2 Constructors Championship. Expect a shoey later.
Well, thanks for carrying me to the championship, so it works out.
All right.
But it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for you guys watch. Hope you enjoyed the stream. We do the best we can. We have fun with it, and we'll see you guys
hopefully
in a couple weeks.
whoever's here next time does